Hi everyone, this is the Billiards Doctor, and for today's video I want to teach you guys how to do long straight shots. So what I like to do, one drill, I like to line up the object balls as a drill across the middle like this, and I'll put the cue ball above the second diamond. This is a 9-foot table, and I'm just going to go and just make this shot over and over again. Very straight, line it up here, a little bit off the rail this time. Like that, come here, same thing on the 6th ball, like that, and we can do it on 2, just like that. And I do that for like 100 balls or so in a row, and just keep practicing that, really to try to focus on having that perfectly straight stroke. Things I'm thinking about when I do this shot is I'm thinking about, adjust this camera a little bit. Go. I'm thinking about making sure my follow through is very straight. So when you make that follow through, making sure that after you hit it, you're not twisting the cue to the right or left. If I'm here, I'm not twisting it to the right, twisting it to the left, focusing on having that perfect straight follow through every single time. So a drill that you can do to practice this is you can look at where the felt and the rail come together, and you can actually put the cue on that rail, on that line, and practice just shooting down that line over and over again. And that'll really ensure that you have a perfectly straight stroke. Other things that I'm keeping in mind when I'm shooting these long shots is I'm focusing on my body being perfectly still. So as I shoot the ball, I'm making sure my body's not rocking back and forth. I'm making sure that after I make contact, I'm counting to 1 or 2 to make sure that my Q-tip stays down and my body stays still through the whole shot. So I have a shot like this. I'm making sure that, so I put a little bit of draw on that. Maybe I'll do a little stun this time so it's in the way, but as you shoot it, Q-tip staying down. And I count to 1, 2, and then I come up. And as I'm shooting it, I'm feeling my body being super stable. I'm not allowing myself to rock. We're not rocking back and forth. We're not going up and down. We're doing very stable. Feeling your body be stable. Come back, go through like that. Okay? So that's things I'm doing on the long shots. Other things that I focus on is I really try to focus on my eye focusing, my eyes focusing. What I mean by that is, we talked about other videos, the eye pattern. This is really important here, especially on long shots, to have a really good eye pattern. So what you're going to do for the eye pattern, if you haven't watched the video, which I recommend you watch the video regardless, but you're going to come in on the shot, and I like to line my cue up, left foot on the line, 45-degree angle, walk in with my right foot, come down on the cue ball. I'm staring at the 2 ball this whole time, staring at the 2 ball, staring at the 2 ball. Now I'm going to look at the cue ball. See if I'm aligned. See where I'm going to hit it. Look up at the 2, look at the cue, look at the 2, look at the cue. Go as many times until I feel comfortable. Then I'm going to stare at the 2, stare at the 2, stare at the 2, stare at the 2, stare at the 2. Just like that. Okay? And you want to really make sure your eyes are focusing on that object ball. Okay? Focusing on the 2 ball that whole time and zooming in on your target. And you want to keep that focus throughout the whole shot. As you shoot it, you don't want to look up early. You don't want to hit it and then look up at the pocket to see if you made it. You want to stay down that whole time, count to 1 or 2, and then come up. The last thing I really try to focus on in doing these long shots is I really try to focus on keeping my right hand, if I'm left-handed, very stable on the table. And what that means is I'm applying pressure on this hand so it's not going to move. It's not going to move around. My fingers aren't moving. Everything is super, super stable. So if that part is going to move, then you're probably going to miss the shot. So you really want to try to keep that hand as stable as possible on the table. Okay, that means you don't want to be like up like this. You don't want to be rocking back and forth. You don't want to be twitching your fingers. You want to keep it really stable and apply that pressure on that right hand. Okay? So that's a drill I like to do. I highly recommend practicing that. I like to do that for a warm-up, even for like a tournament match. I will be sitting there doing that, 50 times in a row and really focusing on potting those long shots and making every single time. And I like to just rifle them in the corner, but know that the harder you hit the ball, the more likely the ball is going to bobble out of the pocket. Another drill I like to do is I like to line up all the balls on the points where like the diamonds intersect. You can do any pattern you want. I usually like to do something like this. And what I'll do is I'll just try to make all the balls. And I like to do stop shots. So I'll go here and I'll hit this with a little bit of draw to get on the floor. Just like that. And I'll just try to do, I'll go to 5 this time. And I'll just try to make all the balls. And I'm really focusing on every single shot and not missing anything. Just like that, just really focusing on keeping that perfect stability. Go. And just making every single shot. And if you miss, you have to start over. That's the rule. Just like that. I'm gonna keep going just like that. Okay? So that's a drill that I like to do, and I do that for all the balls and clear all the balls, and I try to not miss and just make all the balls in a row. That's a drill I really like to work on sometimes. Another drill that I like to do is I'll line up the balls like this, and I'll just focus on making this cut shot a bunch of times in a row. And this is not an easy cut shot. This is a decently big angle. Now I'm going to focus on, this is a shot you should make every single time though. Focusing on potting this every single time. And I'll do it again. Like I said, it's easy, but it's not too easy. It's a shot you really shouldn't take for granted. And I'll do that for 50 times in a row, and then I will switch sides. And that helps you just practice to make sure that as I'm shooting the ball, I'm not putting side spin, I'm not twisting my arms around, things like that. So those are tips and drills that I like to do for having long shots and for having a straight stroke. This is the Billiards Doctor. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos.